In my last video about video game collecting tips, we talked about liquidity in your video game collection, why it matters, why I think it's very important, and why you should also have a look at when you buy retro video games. Now, it's only fair to talk about how you get the money for collecting. A lot of us, we don't have a lot of money to spend on video games every month. And sometimes like having something left over to spend on stuff that makes you happy, a collection should make you happy, that's the end goal. It's not in the cards for a lot of people. I want to talk about some ways to make extra money, to get extra money to spend on video games for your collection. Now, number one is something we have in Germany. We call it the Pfandsparen. A Pfand is a deposit we pay for every bottle or can for a drink that we buy in the supermarket. Your bottle of Coca-Cola may cost €1, and then you have to pay an extra 25 cents as a deposit for the bottle. When you bring that back to the store, you get your 25 cents back. What a lot of families, a lot of people do, they take that Pfand money and they put it into their piggy bank, into their savings account. Whatever they do to save money, that's what they do. It's called the Pfandsparen, the deposit saving. This works in Germany. Of course, we are the first people in the world to actually do a system like this. I know in the US, it's not standardized. Some states apparently give you like a few cents when you return a bottle or a can to them. So look around what you can do in your country, in your area. I don't know, collect old newspapers, sell them to like the recycling center or something. Maybe you can do something. In Germany, the Pfandsparen is very popular. So getting things like this, money you spend anyway, you get it back. Use that for your video game collection. You would be surprised how quickly that adds up. Another one is to switch hobbies. Now, I know this. I also have this problem from time to time, and a lot of people have these. These are serial hobbyists. They start something and then they get really into it and they have a hobby. Then they see something, start something, get really into it. Now they have a second hobby that they have to spend money on. Then the next one, the next one, the next one. Maybe give up another one. Like if you're like me, you're a fan of fountain pens and paper, maybe you don't need to buy so many notebooks. You're never going to write that much anyway. Maybe you don't need 10 bottles of ink all the time. You're never going to empty them anyway. Maybe slow down on another hobby and use that money to buy video games. That's just my tip right there. If you're a serial hobbyist, like I tend to be at times, slow down on something else. You don't have to do everything at the same time. Use that budget, spend it on video games instead. Now, you don't have to give up on something that's good for you, like a hobby. That's fun to do. Give up on something that's bad. If you're a smoker and you want to quit smoking, use that as a motivation. Every pack of cigarettes, €10 every time. I don't smoke. It's very expensive. I'm always shocked. And at the supermarket, when I see the packets of cigarettes, damn, they are pricey. Like, that's €10 once a week, every few days, maybe daily even for some of you. Give up a bad hobby, a bad habit, and don't do it anymore. Use that money, reward yourself. You didn't spend that money for a pack of cigarettes, €10, buys you Lair on the PlayStation 3. Do you want to have Lair on the PlayStation 3? I don't know. Maybe it's worse than smoking, but that may actually be a thing relevant for you. Quit a bad habit. Quit gambling, quit smoking, quit cocaine. Whatever you can, quit. Quit buying that coffee every morning, that's the standard one. Quit buying that, for me, chocolate milk and a donut in your break. It's €10 a week, like €2 a day. It's not a lot, but it adds up quickly. That bad habit can go. You don't need that donut. What you need is Lair on the PlayStation 3. Now, another one is save on other things. Video games are a fantastic hobby because they're actually a pastime as well. People are numismatists, right? They collect coins. Now with a coin, you can't do anything. You can look at it, you can appreciate it. With a game, you can actually do something. Like Lair on the PlayStation 3. Like this is a solid like 10, 20 hours of gameplay. That's 10, 20 hours you're not spending at the bar, drinking beer, paying for beer. That's 10, 20 euros you're not spending on something useless like a gym membership. What are you doing there, you know, like paddling that stupid thing anyway, getting fit for what? So Lair can be impressed. Lair's always impressed by you. This video is getting stupid fast, I'm very sorry. I did not plan on this. This is just getting stupid right now. Lair, get it. I'm selling it, do you want it? Contact me, comments down below. So, other pastimes, like you're not going to the movie theater, spending that, what is it, like 30 euros, dollars per movie and some popcorn. You're sitting at home, playing Lair on the PlayStation 3. Saves you money, it's a pastime. You can spend that money and save in other areas. Sell your games. That's what I'm doing here right now. That's why I'm standing here, because I wanted to show all my video games in that one video. If you buy like cheap games, like you can get good games for like 10, 15, even less than 10 euros, dollars, whatever your currency is. For example, right here, I don't know, Watch Dogs for the PlayStation 3. I didn't want to bring out Lair again. Like Watch Dogs, this is like a 4 or 5 euro game for the PlayStation 3 right now. Now I've heard it's not the greatest, but I'm sure you can have a few hours of fun with this. Like probably not the worst 5 euros or $5 you have ever spent. Like that cup of coffee is gone after you drink it. This stays forever. Just like Lair on the PlayStation 3. I'm not going to sell this, I'm keeping this. This is getting stupid. I have a story with this game now. Like I'm not selling it. I retract my offer from earlier. Don't comment down below. Like Lair is staying here. And it's completely fine. Like after a while, you know, you buy this 5 euro game, this 15 euro game, this 10 euro game, like one a week. You can probably like afford that, like spending 10, 15 euros a week for a game. After a while, like you may have a little stack of 10 euro games that you can sell. And this is, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that's 60 euros, $60 right here. That's a decent retro game you're getting. Like sell these to a store, get maybe 50, a bit below value. And I don't know, you can get that Mario Sunshine, you can get that Smash Brothers Melee for the GameCube. Like these a bit higher priced games. You know, convert that game collection you have of cheap games that still have liquidity. You know, watch my last video to learn about that. Like you've learned from me in that video that you should have liquidity in your game collection. And it's good to sell that stack of games to get like one solid one that you actually want, like for the long term. Well, these were just pastimes, so you're not spending money on drugs. Now this is high level. The next point, like I want to try this because like this is totally me, like in my thinking, like my economic thinking that I have, like create a fund for your video games. If you had like, I don't know, 20,000 euros that you're spending on video games for your collection. I know people spend crazy amounts of money on video games. Like 20,000 is nothing for some collections. If you don't spend that, but you invest it into like, I don't know, high yield dividend ETF that gives you like 3-4% in dividends every year. You know, stocks, you pay out a dividend. That is what, like 500, 1,000 euros a year to buy games with. And you're not spending that principal that you had in the beginning. All of that is free money. Basically. It's what I do to a certain extent. Like I invest into a distributing world ETF. And once a year I get a dividend payout. And I know it's very bad, I should reinvest it, but now I'm using that money, that's free money for me. I'm using that money to buy some games, like higher priced games that I've been looking for. You may remember last year I did videos about me buying the Wild Arms games for the PlayStation. I wanted those. I used my dividend payout for that. Free money. So this might actually be the next level. Like if I'm well off enough in the future, at one point I want to do this. I want to create a fund where I simply buy games with the dividend payouts and so on that I get from that money. That's so stupid, and I love that idea. Anyway, how do you get the money? Do you simply have a big income, a high income, so you can afford the hobby? I plan on doing another video about the affordability of video game collecting. People have said retro video game collecting is no longer fun, everything is too expensive. I believe this is one of the cheapest hobbies you can get into, retro video game collecting. And modern games are much more expensive when you think about it the way I do. I would rather buy, like, I don't know, an Earthbound for 1,000 than This Is the Police for 5. I think Earthbound is the cheaper game of the two. See you in the next video. Bye.